Hello, my name is Leon. I am a second-year medical student, and in this short video, I will describe the method that I use to schedule and track my studying every single day. And if you watch to the end of the video, I will explain in detail how to use a template that is attached for your own studying purposes. Something I struggled with at the beginning of medical school was knowing what to study, when to study it, and how much to study on a given day. So I figured if I can make something that automatically shows these things, something that I can view at the beginning of each day, then I can focus completely on studying without having to constantly worry about whether I'm falling behind or not. After a year of trial and error, this is the system I developed that works the best for me. So the essence of the system is the retrospective review calendar. It's where you have a row for every lecture you need to review before the exam date. And then you have 3 columns for your 3 passes. And so as you complete a pass, you fill out the date along with a color for the cell. So today is actually the 21st. And then say I was pretty confident with this review, so I'm going to label it green. And then everything is going to be counted in the stats up here, which we'll discuss later on. The benefits of the retrospective review calendar are that you have a visual tracking device for your study progress, and you're also very easily able to see which lectures that you're strongest on and which ones that you're not so strong on. So when it comes to review period for the exam, you have a better idea of what you want to focus on in order to score as high as you can on the exam. If you want to learn more about the retrospective review calendar system, I've linked a video that goes into much more detail in the description below. You can check it out. Okay, now let's move on to the first 4 rows of the spreadsheet. And these are the stats related to the calendar, and they represent the cumulative effort I've made throughout my first year of medical school, and it's really helped me to improve how I study and reduce stress when it comes to knowing what to study on a given day. So we have today's date, which self-updates at the beginning of each day. You have the exam date, which you set on your own for each exam that you have throughout the year. You have the total number of lectures that you want to review before the exam, your remaining first passes before the exam, and then you have the number of days until your review period. So I've set my review period here to be 3 days before the exam. This is the period that I want to get all my first passes done before, so I could spend 3 days primarily reviewing and going over the lectures that I feel the weakest on. This is the number of first passes that I have before the review period. And this is the metric I look the most at because I want to make sure that I'm on pace to finish all my first passes before the review period so I can completely dedicate those 3 days to just reviewing lectures I've already seen. And then the rest of the metrics are pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now let's put 2 and 2 together. So at the beginning of each block, I will type out my exam date and then add all the lectures I need to review before the exam time. Typically, I focus on my first pass initially. So today I will do these 2 lectures, and then as I do each lecture first pass, I'll unlock the corresponding Anki cards with the Boards and Beyonds lectures, and then continue to review those using the Anki algorithm until the exam date. This is just for planning purposes initially, so as I complete a lecture, I'd want to color it in with a specific color. So let's say this lecture was easy, and then this lecture was hard. So as I change these, it automatically updates, and it gives me a remaining first pass per day until my review period. This number I like to keep below 2, and that's just personal preference. I realized through a lot of trial and error that I'm most comfortable with the remaining first pass per day before the review period being around 2. So that's usually my strategy for this. This top bar will update as I fill the dates out. Let's say yesterday I studied these 3 lectures, then I will have 3 lectures for this date. And I can also plan for future reviews. So I would say tomorrow I want to review these 4 lectures. I have 4 for tomorrow. And so this is a good way to both plan out your reviews for the future and view how you've been doing in the past, and gives you a better idea of how much progress you've been making. Okay, now let's change up the scenario. So let's change the exam day to 2 weeks before. And so we have a lot more lectures to do per day if we want to meet that review period time. Now I want to plan more aggressively. Day after tomorrow, I'm probably going to have more energy because I've been taking it easy. So I'm going to review 6 lectures on that day. And this is not going to update until I change the color, but I hope you can see how filling out this retrospective review calendar and then viewing the stats each day gives you a better idea and makes you more confident on how on progress you are with your reviews. And that's pretty much the extent of this system, and I hope that some of you can find it helpful for your own studying purposes. Like I said before, I've linked this template in the video description. You can access it for free. I also have another version I've been working on of this template that's more expanded, has more functionality, such as a dedicated review organizer and conversion from Google Calendar to Google Sheets. And so if you're interested in that, you can access it through the same link down below.